total domination or total misunderstanding. The truth behind Gigi Hadid's response to viral Epstein file claims. Listen up, everyone, because this story has been spreading fast across social media, and it has sparked intense debate, confusion, and a wave of emotional reactions online. Recently, claims began circulating online suggesting that supermodel Gigi Hadid had been referenced in newly public documents connected to investigations involving Jeffrey Epstein. These claims quickly went viral, especially after excerpts and screenshots began appearing on social platforms, with users attempting to interpret heavily redacted and context-limited materials. But here's where things get important. The situation is far more complicated than the headlines suggest. According to online discussions, Gigi Hadid was mentioned indirectly in certain email chains or communications that have been publicly released in part. However, these references are widely debated, heavily redacted, and lack full context. Many experts and viewers online have pointed out that being mentioned in documents does not automatically imply any form of personal involvement or connection. Still, the internet did what it always does, jumped straight into speculation, and that's when Gigi Hadid finally responded. Gigi Hadid breaks her silence. Gigi addressed the growing online discussion through a public response aimed at clarifying her position. Her message was calm but firm, and it immediately spread across social media platforms. She made one thing extremely clear. She has no personal connection to Jeffrey Epstein, and she strongly rejects any implications suggesting otherwise. Her reaction focused on two key points. She expressed discomfort and concern upon hearing her name associated with such claims. She firmly denied any link or interaction with Epstein. She emphasized respect for victims and the seriousness of the broader situation. In her tone, there was a clear sense of frustration, not just about misinformation, but about how quickly narratives can form online without proper context or verification. She described the situation as deeply unsettling and stated that hearing her name associated with such claims was disturbing, especially given the sensitivity surrounding the topic. How the internet reacted. As expected, her response did not calm the debate entirely. Instead, it split public opinion almost instantly. On one side, many supporters defended her strongly, saying that public figures are often unfairly dragged into online theories without evidence. They pointed out that being mentioned in documents does not equal involvement, and warned against jumping to conclusions based on fragments of information. On the other hand, critics continued the question why her name appeared in circulating materials at all, arguing that public figures inevitably face scrutiny when linked, even indirectly, to controversial figures or investigations. This divide quickly turned into a full social media storm, with hashtags, comment threads, and reaction videos spreading the story even further. Understanding the background of the Hadid sisters. To understand why the situation gained so much attention, many online discussions shifted toward the rise of the Hadid sisters in the fashion industry. Both Gigi Hadid and her sister Bella Hadid grew up in a high-profile environment and eventually became two of the most recognizable faces in global fashion. Gigi's journey into modeling began at a very young age. She first entered the industry through early campaigns as a child model before stepping back to focus on education. Years later, she returned to modeling professionally and signed with major agencies, eventually rising to international fame. Her breakthrough came as she began working with major fashion brands, walking in global fashion weeks, and appearing on magazine covers that cemented her status in the industry. By the mid-2010s, both sisters were everywhere: runways, campaigns, magazine covers, and global fashion events. Their rapid rise naturally made them highly visible public figures, which also means they are frequently discussed online, sometimes in ways beyond their control. The viral email allegations and online interpretations. A major part of the online discussion stems from alleged email exchanges that have been circulating on social media. These emails reportedly include conversations referencing models and the fashion industry in a way that some viewers have found uncomfortable or suggestive. However, it is important to highlight that many of these documents are partially redacted, context is missing from key sections, and interpretations online vary widely. No confirmed evidence has been publicly established linking Gigi Hadid to any wrongdoing or inappropriate involvement. Despite this, online users have attempted to connect fragments of information to well-known public figures, which has fueled misinformation and speculation. Some interpretations claim the emails reflect broader industry power dynamics, while others argue that they are being misread or taken out of context entirely. The core of the debate. What makes this situation so controversial is not just the documents themselves, but what people believe they represent. For some, the discussion has become about the modeling industry and how power, influence, and opportunity can sometimes overlap in complex and uncomfortable ways. For others, it is a clear example of how online spaces can distort incomplete information into full narratives about individuals who may have no real connection to the claims being made. This is where Gigi Hadid's response becomes central. She positioned herself firmly outside of the narrative, emphasizing that she does not want her name associated with speculation that lacks evidence or context. Her focus remained on distancing herself from misinformation while also acknowledging the seriousness of the broader issues involved. Public sentiment remains divided. Even after her statement, reactions online remained mixed. Some users expressed support, saying her clarification was reasonable and necessary. Others remained skeptical, arguing that public figures often need to address controversies more thoroughly, even when involvement is denied. Meanwhile, a large portion of observers pointed out a more balanced perspective. Being mentioned in documents does not automatically imply wrongdoing, and viral interpretations should not replace verified facts. This viewpoint gained traction among those calling for more responsible discussion online, especially regarding sensitive topics involving ongoing investigations or alleged victims. Why this story went viral so fast? There are a few key reasons why this situation exploded online. High-profile name involvement, Gigi Hadid is a globally recognized figure. Sensitive subject matter, anything connected to Epstein-related investigations draws intense attention. Fragmented information, redacted documents lead to speculation. Social media amplification, short clips and posts spread faster than context. Once all these elements combined, the story naturally gained massive traction across platforms. Final thoughts. At this stage, what remains clear is simple. Gigi Hadid has publicly denied any connection to Jeffrey Epstein. Online discussions are largely based on fragmented and interpreted materials. The situation has sparked broader debate about misinformation and public speculation, and the internet remains divided on how such topics should be interpreted. Whether this story fades or continues to evolve will largely depend on what verified information, if any, emerges in the future. For now, one thing is certain. This is a powerful example of how quickly narratives can form online and how important context is when discussing sensitive topics involving public figures.